Welcome back to another episode of Upcoming Mods. Starting things off, we're going to take a look at some new updates to Fallout 4 New Vegas, or just one video in particular. Basically, this is going to be of Prospector Saloon. I'm going to have the full thing linked down below, as well as on this channel. There's a few other videos from the mod's development. As you can see, it's basically going to be a total recreation of the Prospector Saloon. This is going to be a place you encounter very early on in Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 New Vegas is a mod aiming to add in some of the most notable locations, items, and even weapons from Fallout New Vegas into Fallout 4 as a pretty large and comprehensive mod. I haven't really been covering this mod all that often as of late, but I do have a pretty large video coming in the near future. I'm going to try and do an interview with them. But regardless, this has not been abandoned or even really put on hold. They've been posting a ton of updates on their Discord. I'm going to have that link down below. Definitely go check it out. Again, there's been a ton of content coming out for this. It's definitely a mod to get excited for, and frankly, I think this video showcases how cool it's becoming. So we have a pretty interesting one in the modern Tomahawk. This does pretty much what the title suggests and creates a modern Tomahawk for use in Fallout 4. We have a look at a few of the different variants. It looks like one's going to have a nice camo, one's going to be flat black, and the third one, I don't know, it looks pretty interesting. This is all being done by the mod author that did bring us the lever action reload fix, the one that kind of works, the one that a lot of people are using today. There's one that came out first that was a bit glitchier, but this one was a bit more polished, and it's the one I personally use in my game. Regardless, in addition to this actually just being a cool looking model and all that, the animations are going to be done by War Daddy. That's someone I feature all the time on my channel, and he actually posts a lot of videos of animations, so we'll probably have a video of that very shortly. Regardless though, this one's looking really promising. It's a very unique concept and weapon. I would love if these were throwable. I think that's one of the best ways to implement this into Fallout 4. Melee weapons have largely been kind of overlooked or abandoned in Fallout 4. They're not all that popular as a mod or even as a choice of weapons unless you're going for a specific build that uses melee weapons. But maybe having this double as a throwable as well as just a melee weapon could be really cool, especially if it does high damage, like a one-shot kill on hit. All around, it's very interesting. It's a very cool mod and a step away from the modern firearms that we have been getting, which is definitely welcomed. So we have a pretty comprehensive look at what looks like is going to be an update to Canteens of the Commonwealth. This is a mod that I have covered in the past. I've been covering a lot of these updates, and basically this image I think is giving us a look at what the update is going to include. So from here, it seems like we're going to have a few new canteens and water bottles. You can see the emergency drinking water there, as well as it almost looks like a traditional plastic water bottle in the top right, and then a little bit more to the right there's actually a mystery water bottle or canteen. I'm not really sure what that's going to be. Obviously it does have a question mark on it, so it's supposed to be a surprise, something that's being worked on right now. We also could see some of the apparel that is going to be available in this update. I covered this a little bit before, and more or less it's going to be some canteens you could carry on your person. Based off the ×3 there and the ×1 and 2, it seems like we might be able to have 3 canteens kind of built into the armor you're wearing. That'll be pretty cool. Maybe a way to reduce the carry weight of those canteens, or it'll just negate the carry weight for 3 canteens in your inventory. In addition, we do have a look at some of the different workbenches that are going to be coming with this mod. I'm not really sure how these are going to be implemented. It looks almost like a cooking station for a few of them. I imagine these are going to kind of have the same use, but just different variants for different factions. One definitely looks like a raider, maybe one will be a super mutant, and one will just be some you could use in your workshop mode. All around, this is a very cool mod, definitely one that's a ton of fun to use, and I'm happy to see it getting updated with some pretty cool features. So we have an update to the Fallout 3 Super Sledge. This is something I did show you quite a while ago. It is by FlipDark95, although there's a few other people working on similar things. FlipDark is a mod author that has worked on a ton of different mods, but only released a few. It looks like this one, though, is getting very close to completion. As you can see, it is fully textured. It looks exactly like the Super Sledge that we did have in Fallout 3. I think it's going to be very welcome because, of course, you're going to see this all over on the super mutants. I imagine, without a doubt, this will be implemented into the level list, so rather than using boards and even the existing Super Sledge, they'll be using this one that obviously does have a pretty big nostalgia effect with it. It's a very cool and iconic weapon that I'm sure we've all used, and more importantly have had used against us, and for that reason I'm pretty excited to have it back in Fallout 4. So it's something that you may have seen. It came out a few days ago now, but basically the people over at Fallout Cascadia are working on bringing skills back into Fallout 4. Fallout Cascadia is a massive mod aiming to add in Seattle to Fallout. It's kind of an expansion. It's going to be a kind of standalone game similar to how Enderall has worked with Skyrim. It's one of the biggest and most ambitious projects, actually implementing a lot of new features that are going to come back into Fallout 4. In the past they teased a full dialogue system, but this time it seems like they are bringing back skills, an aspect of the previous Fallouts that was was surely missed in Fallout 4. This is going to be part of the mod itself, but in addition, it's going to have a standalone component that you could just add into Fallout 4, so you can kind of have a new game. Frankly, again, I think this looks really cool. It's going to probably change around how the perks and all that work in the game, which I definitely think is welcome. It's going to be great for starting a new playthrough with this mod installed. There's no details about a release date or anything like that, but frankly, again, I just think this looks very promising. It's an aspect of the game that I really did miss, and one thing I'm really happy to see is this awesome feature is going to be part of Fallout Cascadia as a whole, but also it being broken down into a smaller mod for use with the base game of Fallout 4. I really like that they're doing that. I think it's a great addition to the game, and frankly, it's something they don't have to do, so I do appreciate it. Regardless, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know in the comments down below, out of all the mods I did show you, what is your favorite? I don't really have a favorite this episode. I think everything we did see today is interesting in its own way. I think those Tomahawks look very promising. I think the Prospector Saloon and Fallout 4 New Vegas as a whole is just looking really cool. I'm excited to get my hands on that. Fallout New Vegas is a lot of people's favorite Fallout. Canteens of the Commonwealth is an awesome mod that I'm happy to see getting updated and expanded. The Super Sledge, I'm excited to get more enemy weapons because it's something that I feel like we don't have too much of, especially from previous Fallouts. We have so many modern firearms, but some of the melee weapons and just weapons you primarily saw on enemies have been kind of lacking. And of course, getting skills back into the game is going to be huge, and I know a lot of people are really hyped for that one. As always, again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.